Radhe Radhe. Okay. Radhe Radhe. So I thought we'll spend a few minutes talking about what puja is, what we do during a puja and what is meant by puja. So we all know about Yuga Dharma, right? In Krita Yuga, what was the Dharma? Can anyone tell us what was the Dharma in Krita Yuga? What is the Dharma in Treta Yuga? What is the Dharma in Dwapara Yuga? And what is the Dharma in Kali Yuga? Krita Yuga, who can tell us? Kali Dharma Undiyar. Who's telling us? I don't see any raised hands. So let's, okay, if you're not volunteer, okay, yes, Aparna, yeah.
Truth.
Krita Yuga, what is the Dharma? Before you recite that Kali Dharma Undiyar, there is a Dhyana Shloka that you play, right, in the CD that tells us what each Yuga's Dharma is. What is the Dharma in Krita Yuga? It's not truth per se. What is the Dharma for Kali Yuga? What is the easiest way out in Kali Yuga? Namasankirtanam, right?
Namasankirtanam.
Okay. Dhyanamam Krita Yugatil, it starts, right? So Dhyana is the Dharma for Krita Yuga. Dhyana, to do meditation, to do penance, is the Dharma in Krita Yuga, where you control your mind and you attain that state, that supreme state, that is called Dhyanam. And then in Treta Yuga, how long can you sit in Dhyanam, right? So you wanted some physical exercise. So they laid out great, huge procedures and said, you can do fire sacrifices. So Treta Yuga was about fire sacrifices, correct? Lot of sacrifices, fire oblations are being done. That all stemmed up during the Treta Yuga. And then, but they were so long and so time consuming, so procedural, that people did not have so much interest in it when time passed by, right? So in Dwapara Yuga, they said you don't need to do such a long procedure. Each one used to take about, few hours, some few days, and all that. So they said, let's shorten it a little bit. So the sages shortened it and they gave us what is known as the puja, right? So puja is what came in Dwapara Yuga, where a form of worship is through by offering different things to the Lord. That is called puja, right? And then in Kali Yuga, even puja is not performed in the right manner. Even we do not have the time and energy to do puja. So they said Kali Yugatil Nama Mondre Podumam, right? In Kali Yuga, Nama alone is enough. That's what is the Yuga Dharma for each Yuga, as prescribed in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Now we are going to, but we still continue to do puja, right? Puja is a way to express our gratitude and love for Bhagavan, right? So that is why when we see Guruji doing puja, and there is a way in which we do puja. It is specified in what is known as kalpas. So just like in our Shastras, you have the Vedas as the supreme Shastras, and then you have the Smritis, right? You have the Smritis, you have Upanishads, and so on. Likewise, you have what is known as the kalpa. Kalpa is one section of our scriptures that talk about how pujas, worship is done with pujas, right? And now, in order to do a puja, so what we essentially do is, the beauty of our dharma is, whenever we sit in front of the Lord, we pray that whatever spiritual we are going to do, we don't have any obstacles, right? For that, we pray to Ganesha. All of us know the shloka Shuklam Bharataram, right? Anyone who doesn't know Shuklam Bharataram, all of us know that. So we pray unto Ganesha or we pray unto Lord Vishnu. It is either taken as a prayer to Ganesha or Vishnu, so that we don't have any obstacles in doing our puja, right? In the spiritual task that we are undertaking. So we do Shuklam Bharataram. And usually you want to kind of, if there are 1,000 things that are going around you, you want to have a little bit of a focus, right? So in order to focus your mind, the easy way to focus your mind is to focus your breath. So in order to bring some kind of tranquility to the breath, they do what is known as a pranayama. And pranayama is done so that there is some tranquility. They just do once, breathe in, breathe out once, so that you have some tranquility before you start this form of worship called puja, right? And then you do what is known as sankalpa. Sankalpa, or determination, or you express what you are going to do. You take a vow that in the next 30 minutes you're going to do this, right? It's very important to declare that. Even when you want to concentrate specifically on study, for example, in the next 30 minutes, if you're going to do study, do a sankalpa that you will do study. Take a vow that you will not be disturbed for the next 30 minutes. It works. So that is shown in our scriptures, where you do a sankalpa before doing anything. Any spiritual task, for that matter, even for yajna, yaga, whatever you do what is known as a sankalpa. Sankalpa, some people clasp their hands like this. Some people clasp their hands like this and then do a sankalpa. It's like taking a vow. Just like you take a vow, you put your hands to the heart and sing the national anthem. Some take a vow like this and touch the Bible, right? When the president takes the vow. Likewise, in our dharma, the way you take a vow is by clasping your hands like this, right? That's why you see priests or others who are doing a puja do a sankalpam like this. Sankalpam is taking a vow, right? So we spoke we spoke about three things. Number one, praying to Ganesha that there is no obstacles. Second, making your mind tranquil, so that you're not disturbed by things going around you, by doing what is known as controlling your breath, pranayama, breathing in, breathing out at least once. Third is what is called the sankalpa, the vow. Any questions? Any thoughts? Anyone has anything? We'll talk about a little bit about what we do in the sankalpa, right? Any questions in this? Yes, Arvind.
I just wanted to make sure that I understood. So we said the three things we have to do so far is sankalpa, which is like expressing what we're going to do, and then focusing by controlling our breathing. But what was the third thing? I think maybe
it's the first thing. The first thing is you do Shuklam Bharataram.
Okay.
Right? You pray to Ganesha that you do this, right? You do Shuklam Bharataram. This is another yoga. Maybe they'll come up with a new scientific name for it. But again, it's about stimulating the nerves or whatever. But you do Shuklam Bharataram, praying to Lord Ganesha that there's no obstacles in whatever the next 30 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever you're going to do. Number one. Second, control your mind using pranayama, and then take a vow. Those are the three things. Okay. And anything else? Okay. So when you take a vow, so what all do you do when you take a vow? So everything in this world depends on three things, right? The place, time, and person, right? Whatever you do depends on these three things. What time it is, what place it is, and what person it is, right? Who does it? Everything depends on these three. So when you do a vow, we basically declared these three things, right? We basically say where we are, firstly, and what time is it. First we are first we say what are we, eventually what is your vow is to say what you're going to do, right? What you're going to do is your vow, right? That is what sankalpam is. And in sankalpam you first declare that you what time it is, where we are, and who you are, for whom. If you're not doing it for yourself, you're having a priest do this puja for you, and the priest will say whom is it being done for. If you are actually inviting a priest to come home and do a puja, the priest will do a sankalpa. He will take a vow on your behalf. So he will say who you are, who is the person doing the job, doing this particular task, spiritual task, right? And then you say what you're doing, number 4, and then you say why you're doing it. Okay, five things you clearly state in a sankalpa, right? All this put in Sanskrit language is what the priests talk about doing a sankalpa. Okay, 5 things.
And Narayananji,
Yeah, Meera.
So it's the location, time, who is doing it, and what are the other 2 things?
It's location, time, who's doing it, and then what is being done.
Okay, and the last
and why is it being done.
one?
What and why. Okay, so the first part of it is location, where they start from the universe, right? And then they come down, and so first you say the reason you are getting into spirituality, the reason you want to attain something is because something is blocking you, right? Some your bad deeds are blocking you from attaining your true self, right? Your true nature. So in order to remove the badness, mama upata durita kshayadwara, that's how you say. So removing all the things that are blocking you from attaining goodness, and thereby attaining goodness. That's how you start, right? The once the evil things or the negatives that are around you are removed, automatically your nature is that of the good. So you automatically remain good, right? So just removing the negativities, that's how you start. I in order to remove the negativities around me, and etadwara, by this attaining goodness, attaining the happiness of the Lord Sri Parameshwara. And then you say the time, right? You speak about the geography and say in this universe there is so many continents, and and I'm in this continent, and the continent of America, I'm in the America country of United States, and I am in this state. I would say I'm in Massachusetts, and I am in Boston, and I am in this part of Boston, right? So there is a spiritual the Sanatana Dharma geography equivalent of it. We don't divide our geography based on these continents, countries, and stuff. We also have a different division of continents. So you would say wherever you are, based on that, you would say I am in this particular place, right? And then you talk about the time. Time is it's very interesting when the way Sanatana Dharma looks at time. Everything is a cycle as far as our dharma is concerned. So you talk about the Manvantara. There are 14 different Manvantaras, a galactic year. Ramuji, if he's visited your place, he probably talked about this during this visit. A galactic year is a Manvantara. There are 14 Manvantaras. 14, there are 14 Manvantaras, and we are in this, seventh of the 14 Manvantaras. And this is called Vaivasvata Manvantara. And in the cycle, these 14 Manvantaras continue. We're talking about millions of years here. These 14 Manvantaras repeat again and again, and we are in the 28th such repetition. Ashtavim Satitame Kali Yuge Pratame. So we are in the 28th of these Manvantaras. We are in the 7th Manvantara, and in that 7th Manvantara, we are in the in Kali Yuga. Kritam Treta Dwaparam Kali Yuga, and we are in the first part of the Kali Yuga, and then we say what year it is. We say that Govind. Yes.
How do you spell Vaivashvata?
Vaivasvata. Vaivasvata. Vaivasvata.
Okay. Is there any specific spelling I should use, or
Um.
can it
Vai-
just be
Yeah, Vaivasvata. Vaivasvata. Vaivasvata is good.
okay?
Vaivasvata Manvantara. So in a typical sankalpa, you do that. You would talk about the Manvantara. In that Manvantara, the 28th 4 cycles, the Chaturyugas are there. 28th such Chaturyuga. In that, I am in the Kali Yuga, and I am in this Kali Yuga. In the 60-year cycle. In the year cycles are not unlike the English year cycle. It is not starting BC AD stuff. It is a 60 cycle year again. So we have 60 years in a cycle, and every 60 years the whole names repeat again. Each year has, just like your Chinese year has names of animals. Likewise, our years also are 60. And you have 60 years again repeating. So if the person is 61 years old, the same year would repeat again for him. The year he was born would repeat on his 61st year, and so on. So you would mention that year and which month, which is the solar lunar month, and what is the position of the moon, which tithi, what is the position of the moon, which star is in the ascent. All of that you would say to denote what the time currently is. Okay, so that is the time part. So we talked about the geography part. I'm not going into how the Sanskrit words and all that. You just need to know about what we are actually doing. We talk about the place where we are, then the time, what exactly, what muhurta this is, what yoga karana, until the minute second part, we not the second part, but that interval, these are divided into various intervals. So we talk about yoga and karana, shubha yoga, shubha karana. We say, we don't actually name the yoga and karana, we just say in an auspicious yoga and karana I do this job. Okay, so time, person, you say about your own lineage, you talk about the gotra, which the lineage that you are from. If you are going to do the puja for yourself, you talk about your gotra, where which lineage you belong to, what is your name, and then you're doing it for yourself, right? If a priest is coming and doing it, he'll ask you for your nakshatra, and he'll ask you for your gotra. Just you go and do an archana in a temple, they'll ask you for your gotram, nakshatram, right? In order to say who's the yajaman, who's doing it, for whom it's being done. So you specify that in your sankalpa, right? And then after these three, you say what is being done. Are you going to do a puja? Are you going to do, for instance, an abhishekam to our Thakurji? Are you going to do, say, Akhanda japa of some mantra? For whatever you do, are you going to do Sandhya Vandanam? Or whatever you're going to do, you say that, what you're going to do. And usually it is done for a reason, right? The reason could be happiness of your family. The reason could be that there is some kind of pain that is going on, some kind of a injury, some kind of an illness, to get rid of that illness, or there is some rift between the husband and wife, in order to get rid of that, or something. You will have with the various different problems for which you do prayers. So you specify what you are praying for, the exact reason you're praying for, right? You're doing this prayer for. That also is specified. These 5 things is what a sankalpa is. Okay, so if you are doing a puja for Thakurji, you would say, if you are doing a general puja, you would say, I'm doing a puja for the happiness of Thakurji, for the well-being of me and my family. Those are general things that you would say. Well-being, for the happiness and pleasure of Thakurji and my Gurunatha, for the well-being of my family, myself, my family, for the peace, happiness, prosperity, health. We usually say all that. In addition, if you have any specific thing, for instance, you are doing a Dakshina Murti Puja, or for just before exams, you would say for my good performance in my exams. So why you are doing a prayer, you would say that. All these are the 5 things. Okay, any questions? Okay. So once you do your sankalpa, then let's say that your sankalpa is to do a puja to Thakurji. Let us say your sankalpa is to do a puja to Thakurji, right? Puja to our Swamiji's murti or Thakurji. Let's say one of these. Okay. So when you if you do that, usually as I told you, the puja is done according to the shastras. We don't invent our own methods. It is actually prescribed in these what is known as the kalpas. So the kalpas usually speak of a 16-step puja, right? A 16-step puja. It is called Shodasha Upachara. Shodasha Upachara means, so you once you have the Lord in front of you, you do 16 different upacharas. 16 means completeness. 16 is a number that denotes completeness. So you have 16 steps, 16 different things you do as a puja, right? So that's what you do. Now, what is interesting is in our dharma is when you look at a beautiful Archa Murti, when Thakurji is in front of us, ideally this puja is to be done in the heart. Remember, in Krita Yuga they used to do dhyana, right? Pujas were not there. They used to just do dhyana, and in doing a meditation, doing a penance itself, everything was done. But because it is difficult to do everything, you're supposed to do the Lord is supposed to be in your heart, and you're supposed to do all upachara. Upachara means offering various different things for the pleasure of a particular person, deity, whatever it is. So you're supposed to do everything in your heart, right? It's kind of difficult to even imagine that. So what you do is you take the Lord out from the heart, put in front of you. Then it becomes you are separate from that divinity, and so you can worship that divinity, right? Are you guys with me? Did I lose any of you? Okay, so you just take the divinity and establish in a form outside you, and then do everything to that divinity. Make sense? So that is the essence of doing a puja, right? So in your heart, the first thing you do is in your heart you do a dhyana of whoever you want to do a puja for. It's a very important thing you do, because that divinity comes from within. It's not an external thing that is there. The divinity is supposed to come from within. So you first think about that form. If it is our Thakurji, Madhuri Sakhi Sameta Premika Vardhan, if it is our Gurunatha, have that form in your heart, and maybe chant a dhyana shloka of that murti, Kalaye Sundarakaram if it is Gurunatha, or Murali Mandita Kara Kamalam, or if your favorite deity is Lord Shiva, Triambakam Mejamahe, something like that. Any shloka of that deity, if it is Ganesha Mushika Vahana, some shloka where it beautifully defines the characteristic of that Lord in your heart. You do a dhyanam of the Lord, right? That particular deity in your heart, and then that dhyanamurti, that Lord is there in your heart. And then you have a archa, you have a physical form right in front of you, isn't it? You establish that divinity from your heart into the physical form. That's what you do in the next step. So the first step is doing a dhyanam. Second step is installing the divinity in the physical form in front of you. That is called avahanam, right? Dhyanam, avahanam. Okay. Once in the moment you do that avahanam, you install, you pray that that divine form come out of compassion. May that divinity come in front of me and be installed in this murti, in this beautiful archa murti of Madhuri Sakhi Sameta Premika Vardhan, or whoever, whichever deity. Then from that point onwards, that deity, that particular deity is right in front of you. That is the bhava you should have, right? The moment you say avahayami, to install that divinity right in front of you, that very moment, that divinity is present right in front of you. If if Radha and Krishna are right in front of you, how how loving and how respectful you would be, you have to be in that way. If Gurunatha is right in front of you, how respectful you would be. If Lord Shiva is right in front, that bhava should automatically come the moment they, generally they do, okay, then they talk and all that. Would you do that when that person is physically sitting in front of you? No, right? Um, so we should have that bhava. The first thing, the moment you have that, then you seat them in a nice, asanam. Asanam is a seat. So you do a dhyanam, you do a avahanam. The moment you do an avahanam, then all the upacharas start, right? The moment he is come, so if there is a guest at your doorstep, the first thing you do is, please come home, please come inside, take your seat, is what you say, right? That's the first thing we do. We give him the best seat possible. Asanam. Asanam means giving them a seat. It is the first upachara that we do. Dhyanam, avahanam, you do. Avahanam is installing, and then you do an asanam. You seat them in that particular place, right? Asanam. So give a nice asanam. You usually it's in a raised level. You don't put it on the floor. It is in a slightly raised plane that you give an asanam. And then when a guest comes, what you do is, you have them wash their feet, right? Because typically they come walking, so you offer them water to wash their feet. Washing their feet, that water is called a padyam. Padhyam, how you want to spell it. It's called padyam. So you offer little water to wash their feet, his feet, her feet, whatever. If it's Lakshmi Devi, if it's Parvati, it's her. Offer water to wash their feet. Padyam samarpayami. You say you wash their feet. You do, even if when you go to Guruji, you do a Pada Puja. First you offer water, right? You wash their feet. Then you offer little water to wash the hands.
Narayananji?
Yes.
Is the Pada Puja and all, is that part of the asanam still?
Yeah, so if you do Pada Puja, the Swamiji is already seated there. So there is no reason to offer him a seat separately. Your upachara starts from offering water to the feet. That's how it is. But otherwise, you do give an asanam and then do padyam. Padyam is offering water to the feet, to wash the feet. Okay. So so as a bhavana, what you do, take a little drop of water and offer it to the deity, and then put it in a cup. That's how you do as a puja, as an offering, right? Padyam, that is padyam, and then you offer some water to wash the hands, right? It's called argyam samarpayam. You offer some water to wash the hands, padyam and argyam. Okay. And then you offer some water to rinse the mouth. It is called achamanam, right? Generally, those who do Sandhya Vandana also will do this. It's called achamanam. You rinse your mouth. Usually, you're supposed to rinse it thrice. So you offer 3 drops of water and say achamaniyam samarpayami. So you offer water to the deity to rinse their mouth. Okay. In Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, if you see, there are if you see, there are 2 separate. If you see in front of the Lord, there'll be different cups, right? Silver cups, if you and one of them will have a spoon, right? And the others will not have a spoon. So if you ever wonder what these cups are about, so one of them is to, again, it is for padyam and achaman. The moment you offer to the Lord and pour it in that cup, it becomes prasadam, right? It becomes the offered water. It becomes your tirtham, right? Prasadam. So when you offer it, they do padyam and argyam in one and achamaniyam in others. Mouth rinsed water in a separate one and padyam and argyam in the other one. That's how they have multiple cups. Most of them do it in a single cup. They just collect all the water because that is tirtham. Okay. So you do padyam, argyam, achamaniyam. Okay. Any questions? Let me pause here and see if you have any questions. So we have done asanam, padyam, argyam, achamaniyam. Any other questions? Any questions until now? I don't know if I'm taking too long, but let me go on. Okay. So the next is you let them take a bath. If you are doing an abhishekam itself, that is where you do all the abhishekam, right? That is where so you start with water. If you want to use milk, if you want to use various different things, you use that for abhishekam. That is the time when you do abhishekam. So whenever the Lord, if you see, whenever the Lord is on a for instance, if you go to the Utsavam in our ashrama, when he's decked on a pallak and when the screen is opened, what the priest or our Guru Maharaj would do is quickly do an argyam, padyam, achamani. The moment someone comes, you welcome them with argyam, padyam, achamaniyam, right? So you always do that. When, for instance, it's a Utsavam, Premika Vardhan, Madhuri Sakhi are put on a unjal, right? And they're going to sing songs. What you would do is first offer argyam, padyam, achamaniyam. That's what they would do, because the Lord has come there. So that's the bhava. Okay. So after that, you do a snanam, right? Snanam is, if you're doing a detailed abhishekam, you use shuddhotakam, which is pure water. You use milk, and there is an order and all that. But if you are doing a regular, just a puja without any abhishekam and all that, still you take a petal, put it in some water, dip it in some water, and sprinkle it on the deity as if to bathe him or her. And you do a shuddhotaka snanam samarpayami. Snanam samarpayami. Offer, bathing to the Lord, and then after bathing, you offer them new clothes, right? And clothes are usually done as two. You don't wear one single cloth. You don't offer one single cloth. You usually offer it as two. Okay, so you offer a pair of garments always. Vastra yugmam samarpayam. Yugma means pair. Okay, so you offer a pair of clothes, new pair of new clothes to them. If you don't, usually you do a new veshti or whatever, in case of pujas. But if it's part of your daily routine, you take one flower and say, think of that as the vastram. Offer that as vastram to the Lord, right? And then it is a. Sorry guys, I got disconnected. Yes, I'm back. So you do vastram, and then it's a practice to do upanayanam right after bath every day. It was a practice. So you also offer that upavitam, that is the next upachara that you give. You offer upavitam either as a flower or as some use akshata. Akshata is rice, pure fresh rice that is sometimes colored yellow to signify auspiciousness. You offer rice or a flower as upavitam, as the punal or upavitam, and then if it is female deity, you offer them Mangala Sutram and all that. You offer Abharanam, which is ornaments, right? So Upavitam, Abharanam and all, that is, so Vastram, Upavitam, Abharanam. All these you offer, and then you offer the deity some freshly ground chandanam, right? Gandha, it is called chandanam, sandalwood paste that can be applied. So if it's a deity that you can apply on, you apply using your, ring finger, right ring finger, gandham dharayami. You apply some chandanam, you apply kumkum right over the chandanam. Kumkum is supposed to be pretty fragrant. It's supposed to give additional fragrance because kumkum comes from saffron flowers, so it's supposed to give additional fragrance and color too. So gandhopari, on the gandham you do some kumkum, saffron flowers mixed with haridra, manjal. Kumkum is supposed to be mixed with manjal. That's how it's supposed to be prepared. Haridra kumkumam samarpayami. You offer some kumkum, chandan kumkum. Okay, and then you offer flowers. Usually, if you are able to string a garland of flowers, great. Or else offer one flower, thinking that is a garland. And then, if you have an Ashtotram, 108 names of the Lord, or even 12 names of the Lord, 11 names of the Lord. Each Lord has a specific number. Usually, it is 108, sometimes 12 for Lord Vishnu. Ganesha has 21, and each Lord has a set of namas, different namas for Vishnu, Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara, 12 names. So you take and do an archana, right? How much ever you can. Keshavaya namaha, Narayanaya namaha. You say namaha, namaha, right behind. If you have time, you can do Vishnu Sahasranama Archana. You all learned Vishnu Sahasranama. You can do Vishnu Sahasranama Archana, all 1008 names. How much, or worst, you can do Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 12 times. You can offer that as 12 times. That becomes the Archana. So you offered flowers. This is until after bath, you offer all these and you offer flowers. Okay, and then the next, once you do the Archana with flowers, what you do is you're going to offer food, right? You're going to offer freshly prepared food as prasadam to the Lord. So before you do food, you usually, because you're bathed the Lord, usually in our culture, even in our customs, when you have taken bath for your hair, when you wetted your hair, what they do, what is known as dhupam, sambrani, to dry your hair and to give it some fragrance and all. They do this dhupam. Dhupam is done right after. You can use agarbattis to do dhupam. You offer dhupam to the Lord, and then you offer what is known as deepam, lamp. It's usually a ghee wick, lamp with a ghee wick that you offer. Deepam samarpayami, Dhupam agrapayami, Deepam samarpayami. Those are the next two that you do. And then what you do is Naivedyam. Naivedyam consists of anything, whatever you prepare, you do as Naivedyam. It is a practice, not if you're offering rice, cooked rice, it's a practice, not, you shouldn't be just offering rice. You should be offering either with parupu or with something else. Plain rice is not generally offered. Offer it with parupu or whatever you cook, you offer it to the Lord, that as Naivedyam. And when you offer, it is considered that you have to put a drop of ghee, clarified butter. If you put a drop of ghee, our scriptures say it purifies whatever is being done. Even if there is it's not being done the most purest manner, you add a drop of ghee that purifies the whatever you cooked, is what it says. So it's always a practice to add a drop of ghee, just a little drop of ghee. If you have tulsi leaves, you put tulsi leaves and then offer it to the Lord, so that he takes it. After the food part is offered, if you have fruits, you can offer fruits. Food and fruit offering is considered as the Naivedyam, right? After Naivedyam, it's more like a mukhwas, where you give fragrance to your mouth, and also helps in digestion, is what tambulam is, betel leaf and nuts, right? And that is something you're not supposed to offer just betel leaf alone. Betel leaf with nuts, is betel nut, is what is offered as a tambulam to the Lord, right? So you do Naivedyam. So Dhupam, Deepam, Naivedyam. Naivedyam is with food items, fruits, both of these in that order. And then Tambulam. Tambulam is your betel leaf, betel nut. It's usually said you can add 10 different flavors, 10 different flavorful ingredients to the tambulam. We'll go into that later sometime, but basic is betel leaf and betel nut. If not, you can actually offer a little bit of water and say tambulam, just a bhava. Okay. Tambulam. And then what you do is what is called the Nirajanam. Nirajanam is where you light a bit of camphor or another ghee lamp and show it to the Lord. That is called Devaki Balaya. You sing and offer it, right? That is what is called Nirajanam. Nirajanam is where you offer that lamp to the Lord. And finally, what you do is the Pradakshinam, right? Pradakshina Namaskaram. You circumambulate around the deity who has come. If you're not able to circumambulate, you circumambulate yourself. Atma Pradakshinam, it's called, circumambulating yourself and doing a prostration to the Lord, so surrendering yourself to the Lord, kind of a bhava. That is what you do. That completes the 16 different upacharas that you do to the Lord. Okay. So this is what is said here is once you do all these upacharas, just like you have a guest, um, and you want something from the guest, you don't ask him right away. You offer him all sorts of comforts and then finally ask him. Likewise, you offer all these 16 upacharas, and at that point, the Lord, the deity, is very pleased with you. So that is when you do what is known as a prarthana, prayer, right? And firstly show your gratitude and thank Bhagavan for having given us the opportunity to offer worship unto him, and then whatever you want to pray for, whatever you've said in your sankalpam, you pray for it again to the Lord who has come, who has come. Do the sankalpam, do the prayer, soulful prayers unto the Lord, and you can do another namaskaram, another prostration, and that ends the puja part. Okay, and generally, if it is an avahanam that you do, for instance, they do a Ganesh puja at home, or they do Varalakshmi Vrata at home and all that. What happens is the divinity has come out in that form, right? What you do is, after your prayers are done, after your upachara is done, you pray that the divinity disappears out of that form, so that that way, even that the archa becomes a prasadam for you, where the Lord has stayed, kind of a thing. So you pray that may the divinity come again the next time when I do prayers. That way, it's more like a send off that you do to the. But when it is Radha Krishna blessed by our Guru Maharaj's padukas, there is no reason to send off the divinity because it's permanently installed there. So you don't do that step. But otherwise, you do what is known as yathasthanam, where from where it came from, you pray that the divinity goes back there, so that your worship is complete. You do that, and usually the northern direction is considered to be a pretty auspicious direction. So the moment you move that particular deity towards a little, probably an inch or so towards the northern direction, signifying that the divinity moves from there, so it will come back the next time when you pray for it. That kind of a bhava is what you do when you do the entire worship prayer. Make sense? Was it too boring? Was it too cool? Do you have any questions? Typically, when you do, sometimes when they do other pujas like Ganesha puja, they do what is known as Visarjan and all that. So, so they keep it for a couple of days. So they don't do the Ythasthanam, the send off, right, that day. They do it the next day, But when you can see that when they do a Shankaranti puja, I don't know if you do it at your homes, but back in India, they used to have a sapling of manjal, turmeric. And on the turmeric they do a puja, signifying sun god. When they do that Sankaranti puja, they won't wait for 1 or 2 days and all. They will do the send off right then and there, because the sun has to go on. You cannot capture it, right? So they do that send off right then and there. So there are different ways that you do it. But typically in your home, these are the quick 16 steps that you follow. At least you should try to. The beauty is because you're not, as Naivedyam, your Adi Shankara says this, Ratnaihi he says how to do Shiva Manasa Puja. He says Ratnaihi Kalpita Masanam Himajalaihi Snanam Cha Divyambharam. In my heart, I have a beautiful asana which is made of, decked with jewels, and that asana is the bottom of my heart. That is where you come and stay. And the tears that I have in my eyes on seeing you, on thinking of your grace, is what is the water to bath you. And my bad vasanas, my good vasanas, all of them, my good thoughts, all of them each one has a smell, and each one is supposed to be the flower that is offered to you. My various bhavas, Sri Anna's Kirtan also is there this way. Pujam Swikuru Punya Shloka. So my various bhavas, where suddenly I get happiness, suddenly when I read Bhagavatam I get joy, I start crying out with tears. my bhavas, various different bhavas, are the various different food preparations that I offer to you, right? um, and when I think of your grace, I feel, I experience horripilation in my heart. That is the pushpamala that I submit to you, right? And then the jnana that I get out of your grace, that is the light, the beautiful glow of jnana that I get. That is the camphor harti that I take in front of you. And 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 I offer myself as surrender unto you. That is how Atma Puja is done. When you have nothing else, you can sing this kirtan, and you can do this bhavam, you can do the puja in your heart. But if you have some time, maybe once a week, once a month, or maybe on every Ekadashi day, maybe on a Sunday, adjoining the Ekadashi day, or whatever, you should try doing this puja at home, for our Thakurji. Hmm? Okay, beautiful. Any questions? Last round. Once, twice, thrice. Yes, Kishore.
Narayanji, what is the kirtan called again? The one that you just talked about?
It's called Sri Anna's Kirtan is Pujam Svikuru Punya Shloka in Hindola. Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Radhe Radhe.